seniors as they commit to play college athletics. First and foremost, congratulations, seniors, on taking this huge next step in your lives. It's an exciting time, well deserved. We're going to hear from you in a second, but before we do, let's hear from coaches that have helped them along their journey. So first up, Coach Pesha, baseball.
All right. First off, I know I said this last year, but I think this is awesome. I think it's cool that we all get together to celebrate our fellow student athletes. It's, I guess, not beside any of us in here that a lot of sacrifice is needed to sit where these people sit. So congratulations to everybody out here today, because I think it's awesome that you all were able to work hard enough to achieve that dream. So congrats to all of you first and foremost. Jack's an easy kid to coach. He's one of those kids that shows up almost every day. Smile on his face. They've had a grumpy day in there too, but not many. Which makes it easy on a coach. A kid that is passionate about the sport, shows up with a great attitude every day, and makes our jobs a heck of a lot easier. Aside from that, kids gravitate to a leader like Jack Clark. He's a guy in the locker room, a guy in the huddle, wherever he is on the field, that kids naturally, they seek him out for leadership and for guidance. And as a young athlete, he stepped into that role quite early on the baseball field. And he knew it. It's something that he's always taken very, very well. He's taken that responsibility head on every single year as a leader, on the field, off the field. Does great in the classroom. This is a journey for him that I'm sure it feels like he's been doing it his whole life. He's played a lot of baseball. So through this process, a lot of phone calls, a lot of visits, a lot of opportunities, and found the right fit, academically, athletically, and from what he told me, it felt like home. And to commit yourself for 4 years to that next level, that's really what matters most. If you're going to be able to give your all as an athlete and as a student athlete, you've got to make sure that you feel like home when you step on campus. So I'm super excited that Jack's got the opportunity to take that step. One last thing, so I'll keep it short, but I think it's just a huge testament to not just the player, but the person that Jack is. I've personally never been around a kid who's been more complimented by umpires, and I think that speaks volumes to the type of person that he is. We call our catcher field general, the quarterback of the baseball team, the guy that touches the ball every single play, the one that sees the field from a different perspective, who can help lead the entire team that way. To me, it's the most important position on the field. Your pitching staff is nothing without a good backstop. So, what he's able to provide our program is been second to none in the fact that I've had umpires multiple times come after the game and say, "You got a good one. He's a great kid." After the game, he shakes the umpire's hand and tells him thank you for his time. And little things like that, they're things that you can't teach. So I'm excited to see where that attitude, where that effort, the hard work, determination, where it takes Jack. Confident he's going to succeed whatever he sets up. So, congrats, guys. Congrats, Jack.
All right, thank you, Coach Pesha. Next, we'll have our head softball coach, Angela Kessler.
Well, before I introduce Avery to everyone, I just want to tell you a story about my first year of coaching, first week of practice. It's Wednesday, and the outfielders are in the outfield, I'm in the infield. We're doing some drills, and one of Avery's teammates comes up to me and says, "Hey, you probably should check Avery. I think her wrist is hurt. I think she hurt her hand." I said, "All right." So I walk out there, I'm like, "Hey, Avery, what's happened?" She's like, "Nothing." Kind of shakes her hand a little bit. It's her glove hand. She's like, "It's fine." I'm like, "Let me see it." She's like, "No, it's fine." She pulls it out of the glove. She shows it to me. It's swollen. I'm like, "Hey, you need to go get some ice. Sit for a while." She's like, "No, it's fine." I said, "No, go sit." I make her sit. She goes to the dugout. She grabs some ice. She tells me 2 or 3 times throughout practice how it's fine, and she's going to go do drills. So into practice, she leaves. I said, "Hey, you need to tell your parents about it. I'll let does not care about pain, and she's going to play through it to help the team. She went and got her wrist checked, and she had a cracked bone inside her wrist. Played through it, didn't care. Played the entire season with it. Played outfield every game, all season long. Didn't complain, nothing. Most of the time didn't even have it taped like she was supposed to. We had to make sure she got it taped. And that was my first year coaching with Avery, where she just taught me that she's going to do whatever it takes. Doesn't matter what the consequences to provide. But it is my pleasure to introduce the two-time state champion and all-conference outfielder, Avery Keys. Avery's been a huge contributor to the last two state champion titles, being the leadoff hitter and a key outfielder in our program. She leads by example with her work ethic and her can-do attitude. She scored the first run of the championship game at state last summer by stealing home, using her speed and high softball IQ. It takes a special kind of mindset and a special kind of player to be your leadoff hitter and have that type of success. She plays with passion and dedication. She's not only a great softball player, she is an absolute great role model. At our youth camp, we had a 5-year-old little girl that refused to go home because she wanted to go home with Avery. Like, we literally were like, no, honey, you have to go with your parents. And she's like, wouldn't leave Avery the entire camp. Instead of going station to station, she followed Avery everywhere she went. I'm like, all right, just keep track of her. Like, she's not going anywhere. I'm so extremely proud of the player and the person that she has grown into. I look forward to watching her grow in the game at Indian Hills next year, and I cannot wait to see how she leads her team this summer. Congratulations, Avery.
Thank you, Coach Kessler. Next, help me give a warm real welcome to Iowa City swim coach, Mandy Kowal. Welcome, everybody. Quite a few of you I know because I've coached you either in swimming or triathlon. And basically, from my introduction to Regina, I've had a great experience just watching you. I've lived on this side of town for 30 years, just seeing the athletes out in the fall and the spring, getting after it, and just the respect I have for the athletes here at the table, but also in the crowd. You guys do a great job with your sports and schooling, and I've had a lot of respect for it. So I get to talk about Joe a little bit here, who's one of my swimmers, and I'm grateful that I've been able to work with him. He's one of the few guys that I've been able to work with for 4 years now. And I can go on and on about his accolades, but what I want to talk about is him as a human being. I've coached in some form, in some sport, for 39 years. And I would say he's in the top 5% of the athletes I've worked with because of the person who he is. So not only is he a great competitor, he's a really good person. And what I mean by that is he treats his teammates with respect. He's driven in not only swimming, but in academics, music, you name it, he's going to put it together and make sure that he's successful. You know, it's fun to be successful. It doesn't matter what you are, what you do with it, but to be successful. And I know when I started to try and change, come in and work with the swimmers, I wanted to make sure that we were reliable, that we were accountable, that we were hardworking, that we were mature, that we were motivated, and that we worked as a team. That was really important to me, and he came with that right away. And as a result, we'll be able to make some changes to the culture that we have at City Hockey. I know for myself during the last few years, I have some of the best conversations with Joe, just about. I love talking about writing workouts and swimming sets, and he is in the same boat. And it's been really fun. This year's been a little bit hard because he's going for the Olympic trials, so I didn't get to work with him as much as I wanted, but it's better for him to be with guys and the coach that's been working with him most of the time. But he lets me know day in and day out what he's doing, and that's what I needed, and then I can share with the guys. So, again, he set some school records at City. I know he's going to do that this weekend at State. And I get 4 days left. And I get a little sad about it when I'm working with athletes, and I know my time is coming to the end. But I know that he's really helped set an example. He was just named District Athlete of the Year, tied with two other athletes at a district championship. He's going to the Big Ten I was a rower in the big time, and I had a lot of fun. It's going to be the most enjoyable and the most challenging thing that you'll ever do, but it's also the most rewarding. So I can't wait to get reports, and I congratulate you going to Minnesota and all the athletes here. Congratulations. It's a really special honor. Thank you. And last we'll have Coach Ellsbury, our football coach.
All right, get comfortable. We got 5 guys that want to play next year at the college level, so sit tight. All right, first off, congrats to everybody here. This group kind of holds a special place in my heart because they're my first year at Regina they were freshmen, so this is my first group that I've kind of seen from freshman year all the way through senior year. So every one of these people sitting up at this table, I think very highly of. So I'll just start at the end of the table and I'll move down. And you guys don't want to listen to me talk for a long time. It's more about these people sitting at the table. So I'll just try to hit on some of their accolades and accomplishments that they've done throughout their career as an athlete, and then move on down the line. Okay, so starting with Gentry Dumont. Okay, Gentry going to Grandview University, played on both sides of the ball for us the past couple of years. Can't say enough about Gentry and his leadership qualities. Very stand-up, high-character guy. He's working with him in the weight room and on the football field. He's a guy that's always looking to do extra, always to do more. He's always going to stay afterwards, after workouts, doing extra work. And guys gravitate towards him. Like I said, we're super lucky to have him on his team. You notice, so at the beginning of summer, we called it Regal Championship for the football team. All the guys voted on captains for the summer, and I think it's Gentry. He got the most votes out of anybody else as far as being voted as a captain for his team. I think that goes a long ways when your peers are voting you and getting the most votes out of his teammates. So that just goes to show what type of person Gentry is. But as far as football goes, he was a pretty good football player too. He was a 3-year starter, all-district offensive MVP, first-team All-State, academic All-State. I definitely think he can say, and anybody can say on the team, he saved his best year for last. His senior year, he was 3rd in 1A for passing yards, with 2,390 passing yards. He had 30 total touchdowns. He was 3rd in 1A with 26 passing touchdowns, 4 rushing. And he was 3rd in 1A with 151.9 QB rating, which a lot of you might not know what that is. Just know he's 3rd in the state in 1A, which is pretty impressive. So congrats, Gentry. I'm looking forward to follow you in the future, and just keep that growth mindset. You're going to do big things, whether it be out in the real world or playing football. So congrats, Gentry. Next up, Mr. Jackson Nave. Jackson's going to Iowa Western Community College. Jackson was a phenomenal athlete for us also the past several years. He was also a 3-year starter for us. Played receiver and defensive back. He was 2-time first team All-District. He was voted Offensive District MVP, first team All-State, your prep sports MVP, academic All-State, voted team captain. And in Class 1A, he led while I'm at it. So Jackson was 2nd in 1A with yards per catch with 20.7. Mr. Ty Josh, he was 3rd in 1A with 20.3 yards per catch. So you put the ball in these guys' hands, they're gonna do something with it. And it goes to show where they stood in 1A. He was 2nd in 1A with all-purpose yards, 3rd in receiving yards, 5th in receiving touchdowns, with 11 total touchdowns. And I think same thing, he had a breakout senior year. 41 receptions, 848 total yards, 11 reception touchdowns, 340 yards, 344 yards rushing, 8 rushing touchdowns, 3 kick return touchdowns, 30.5 tackles. Super valuable to our football team, and just like Gentry, he's even better person off the field. And multi-sport athlete. Most of these kids are all multi-sport athletes, but we're really going to miss Jackson next year as a person, but also as a football player. So congrats to Jackson Nate. You need to talk about these things, so I gotta feel like I'm leaning over. Yeah, I might just take that. All right, next is Drew Strett. Drew Strett is going to Wartburg for offensive line. Drew and John are both anchors on the O-line, D-line for us the past several years. If anybody knows anything about football, you're probably not very successful if you're not moving guys up front. So having Jack's another one, but Jack, Drew, John kind of were our three key guys up front that were moving guys from point A to point B and allowing guys like Gentry and Jackson to put some points up on the board. So they don't always get the glory up front, but it's all one in the trenches as far as football goes. So Drew is a 3-year starter for us on both sides of the ball. Unanimous all-district offensive line MVP. He was also voted captain of our summer Regal Championship team, and he was also the winning team of that point system over the summer of the first annual Regal Championship. He's a 4-sport athlete. He is a 2-year team captain for football and basketball. So once again, I'm looking forward to Drew and following him as we go to Wartburg. It's going to hurt me a little bit because I was a Go-Hawk, so Wartburg's our rival, but I'll have to catch some of Drew's games on Saturday, and I'll be rooting for him as a Wartburg night for sure. So congrats, Drew Strett. All right, here we go. Ty Joss. Ty Joss is going to Central College. He played receiver and safety / like outside backer for us. Ty was a guy that we could probably put anywhere on the field, and he was going to be a playmaker. Same thing, you put the ball in his hands, and he's going to do something with it. Like I said earlier, he was 3rd in 1A for receiving yards per catch. So Ty Johnson is a 2-year starter for us on both sides of the ball at receiver and outside backer. He's first team all-district. He had 9 receiving touchdowns, a total of 550 yards. He led the team in tackles on defense. He was definitely a ball hawk. He was always going to be around the ball, no matter where the play was. So he led the team in tackles with 45.5 tackles. 31 of those were solo, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions. And Ty Joss is another guy that's always in the weight room, always looking for extra things to do, whether it be extra plyo work, extra speed work. And I know if he takes that mindset in college, he's going to go do big things over there at Central. So once again, another guy that's not a Go-Hawk, but he's in the now it's called the ARC Conference. So I don't know what I'm going to do when Wartburg plays Central. I'm going to have to wear 2 different shirts. But I'm really looking forward to these guys and what they do in college. Ty Joss. Last but not least, Big John Devery. John Devery's going to Wayne State for offensive line. Just like I said earlier, he was a definite anchor on the O-line and D-line for us. He kind of solidified himself at tackle for us, kind of protected Gentry's blind side most of the games. So a lot of these guys are going to be missed next year. I think, you look at any team that you've been a part of or any team that I've been a part of or have coached, most of the time they're successful because they have a really, really strong leadership group. And it's even better when that leadership group is seniors. And I think this senior class had, they went 5-4 their junior year, kind of sat down after the season. I think they came together as a group, stepped up as leaders, and they ended up going 9-2, making the quarterfinals as seniors. And I think a lot of it goes to that leadership group in that senior class. So going on, kind of went on a tangent, but going off of that, John Devery, all-district player, both his junior and senior years. He was also one of our captains for our Regal Championship over the summer. He had to put this in there, so I asked some of these guys to just provide me some of their accolades, so I didn't miss anything. He put in there, so he's a D-lineman. You don't get interceptions very often. He put in there 1 interception. He sniffed out those screens. So he had 1 interception. He's also a multi-sport guy. Super happy to work with him in the weight room, football, and wrestling, and then he also did track last year as well. But I'm looking forward to John and just seeing him continue to develop as he goes to Wayne State, and hopefully catch some games on Saturdays as well. So John Devery, congrats.
Let's give a round of applause for our coaches here today. Coaches obviously play a very, very important role in our kids' and we appreciate everything you do when you show up every day for our kids. So, finally, let's hear from our student athletes. So, go ladies first.
I'd like to thank especially my parents. I wouldn't be here where I am without them, especially those late night eating sessions at 9 p.m. and going to the field every day in summer before games. My brother, especially for the mental aspect of the game, he really helped me when I was mentally not in the game. My teammates, obviously, we wouldn't do anything without them as a team. Obviously, my coaches over here and all my other seasons and fall ball, winter ball, spring ball, and all my friends, obviously, the biggest supporters, ones that would go to Fort Dodge for me, and everyone here. So thank you.
First of all, thank God I wouldn't be here without him. And then special thanks to the coaches, my parents, and teammates for helping me along the way, and then really anybody else who chipped in to help along. Thanks.
I want to thank my family and all my coaches throughout my whole high school career. I started my recruitment process on December 30th and committed January 30th, so it was a really efficient process. But it was really good, and also I want to thank all my teammates for pushing me and just being able to better myself.
First, I'd like to thank Mandy and the whole City High staff and City High team. I don't have the opportunity to play my sport here at Regina, and City High has been very welcoming, and they've been a great group of guys to work with for 4 years, so I've appreciated that. As for Regina, I'm blessed to be here too. It is such a tight-knit community. I've gotten to run cross-country all 4 years, and that was just a super special experience and something I will not forget. And lastly, thank you to all my friends here and my parents and my brother. They definitely got me here. Wouldn't be there without them. Thank you.
I want to thank my parents and my family for all their support throughout the years, waking me up in the mornings for lifting, and all my teammates and coaches, especially my coaches, teaching me and helping me out in the game. And then my teammates, all the competitions and competing throughout the years really made us all better. And so I want to thank you to Regina for helping me become the man I am today. And yeah, thank you.
I want to take a second and acknowledge and appreciate the other 7 people here. The countless hours of work, just pure dedication is so impressive. I'm so happy for all these guys, and Avery as well. I also want to thank my coaches, the administrators. You guys are all great. I want to thank my mom and my dad because you guys are fantastic. They'd be nice where I'd go 0 for 7, horrible, not good. And I come home, I talk to my mom and dad, get me in the right headspace. I wouldn't be here without you guys. So love you guys. I appreciate it. And yeah, thank you.
First, I want to thank God for blessing me with athletic talent and another opportunity to play football. Second, I want to thank my mom and my dad for all the time they spent on me and how much support they have for me. Third, I want to thank Coach Dumont for all the hours you spent with me and Gentry and taking us to camps, like that 11-hour drive to Mexico State. Thank you, Coach Inco, for all you did for the receivers and how you really took your time to teach us good technique. Thank you, Coach Ellsbury, for all the stuff you do for the team now, being the head coach, and all the stuff you've done for me in the weight room. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the rest of my teammates here, for helping me get better by giving your full effort. And thank you for everyone here in the Regina community, for all the support and love you guys have had for me and the teams over the years. Thank you.
I'd like to thank my parents first, mom and dad. You guys are the best. Many different places we've traveled. Me and my dad, Jackson, and friends. Probably a good portion of the USA, just from football. Mom, thanks for everything you've done. Many times I came home and had a rough practice or something, and you'd always kind of cheer me up. So thank you for that. times where I didn't have everyone to throw with me. You guys would come to the facility, so technically I had a coach with me. So thank you, Coach Ellsbury. Congrats on the new head coach job, by the way, and thank you for everything you've done in the weight room, for everything you've done for everyone. Coach Hinkle, best OC in 319, just saying. Thank you for everything. Shout out Coach Hills, West Branch guy here now. Thank you, best coach around. I'd like to shout out the O-line, Jack Clark, Drew Strab, John Devery, Ian, Noah, and Matt Colony. Shout out Johnny. Thank you, my teammates, friends. God bless. Go Vikings.
All right. Congratulations, athletes, on your choice to compete at the next level. There should be some tough times along the way, but the memories you make, the teammates you meet, the life lessons you learn to make the journey all worth it. Wish you all the best. So without further ado, you may now sign your letters of intent. Let's give one last round of applause. Please keep that. All right, thanks again, everybody, for coming. That concludes this part of the ceremony. If you want to stick around, take pictures here, you can. We also have a backdrop and table set up in the events entrance. You're more than welcome to stay out there as long as you like. So I think we want to get one or a couple pictures with athletes. You guys
Bro, you stole my undershirt. It's not my fault.
Pete, what up?
Oh, it's good. They've just zoned the whole time. They're structuring one, so it's kind of weird, but we were winning the whole game.
You guys back through yet?
We'll see how much today. I mean, it's like with the 1 through 1, it's not hard to see unless they're like all like 6'5", which they were. We'll see after today. Like shooting.
Do you want those on that thing, or do you want to roll that?
Pull that thing in here.
Probably going to Iowa, most likely. I don't know for sure yet, but most likely I'm just going to Iowa. Yeah, and my brother. Not she just she was Iowa State for years, and that's what like summer in Detroit. You wouldn't expect it from her. So looking at the U right now, just trying to get some money right now. So who goes with us? Because you graduated this like you do, and I think probably two graduate school, so he gets masters in science. High school 2011. Wait, what?
They'll be in junior high when I'm a senior in high school.
High school basketball.
About this weekend?
Yeah, I am gonna come back.
Like back here. Maybe run quick up the bleachers and check. I have a good time really well. I heard it. I'm serious.
Oh, I did hear about that.
become comfortable.
and you're like, some Aussies that are interested. That's a couple years down the road. No, I'm